Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I spent the major part of my life as a secretary supporting the accomplishments of other people. I'm going to tell you tonight how life changes directed me to some accomplishments of my own and to finding joy among the elderly. I retired to spend time with my ailing husband. 3 years later, he passed away. A year after that, I learned I had a serious cancer. Surgery removed it, but I was told I could expect it to return someplace else in my body. Do you know why the work that physicians do is called the practice of medicine? Until they perfect it, all doctors are capable of is practicing. My oncologist has spent 3 years scanning, biopsying, testing, and x-raying me, continually trying to find something that's not there. While I was contemplating the shortening of my life, I moved into a mature adult apartment community with my mother, who's now 91 years old. I wasn't looking forward to the dull life of living in an old folks' home. We have sing-alongs in our community clubhouse. I started taking Mom down to sing songs from the early 1900s to the 1950s. There was a paraplegic gentleman named Francis who would belt out the songs way off key at the top of his lungs. It was just awful. You couldn't call it music. Francis took a liking to my mom and me, and he insisted on pulling his wheelchair up next to us. Although I'd never been able to carry a tune, I started singing louder and louder, trying to drown out Francis's cacophonous sounds. Pretty soon I realized my voice was improving. Mom and I enrolled in we performed in a talent show. I'm gonna pass around a CD of an event we performed with our fictional. I joined a painting class in our clubhouse. My first attempt at painting was a still life of a vase of flowers and some fruit. It came out looking like a cartoon, and the instructor said I was an impressionist. I retrieved a discarded painting someone else had thrown away of a dark sky and a gray sky and a dark river. I painted little white wave ripples in the river with flowers next to the river, and I threw some blue and some white fluffy clouds into the sky, and I turned the scene into something brighter and more uplifting. Then I copied a calendar photograph of a hummingbird with oil paints, and I was so proud of it. You can actually tell what it is, that I framed it and brought it to show you. A woman hobbling on 2 canes suggested that I contact a friend of hers who has a weekly walking group. I got together with them, and I now hike a 5-mile, 2,500-foot elevation walk up in the foothills here above Claremont every Wednesday. A tap dancer came to entertain the old folks where I live, and I participated in some tap dancing classes. All these new learning experiences led me to think I might be able to learn a new language, so I went online with the Rosetta Stone method of absorbing Spanish. I found it to be great fun, and I played along with it for several months. Now, nursing Mom, who's battling some severe health issues, is keeping me busy and taking my time away from the Spanish practice. But I have continued for over a year to take the time, a half an hour each week, to spend with a neighbor who is in a hospice status and she's lost her eyesight. She's asked me to read the Bible to her and pray with her. Both she and I have really benefited from those weekly get-togethers, and I can't imagine a more rewarding use of time. I'm not as focused as I was when I was working. I go off in 100 different directions, but I feel like a kid gaining a new education. You can learn many things, even from the very elderly. You don't have to become an expert at everything you learn. now that I've dabbled in new talents that I have to talk about, I'm adding learning to speak in public by joining the Toastmasters.
Oh.
Wow.